Hi, I'm Kaylee. I grew up being a pastor's kid my whole life. Parents have always been really involved in church. I honestly hated church. I never really hated God, but I couldn't stand anything that had to do with Him. Like, I've read the whole Bible twice, like, I could tell you every story, but it's still hard for me to be more okay with God, but it's getting there. It's hard. People look at you through a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people feel like it's their responsibility to pretty much keep track of you all the time because of who your parents are.
Mm. And you don't get a chance to just be you.
No, like if I said like the A word or something, I've had people like tell on me for having like a bad word on my Facebook. And my parents told me, you've never even met this person in your life.
Mm-hmm. And they just feel the need to go and
Be a part of my life. Pretty much. I was really angry with them a lot for things that they had no control over. And everything that happened that was bad, I took it out on them for the few mistakes they made. And a lot of it, I screwed myself over.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just easier to blame it on like God or the church or my parents.
So you are a believer, though?
Yeah, I believe in God. I know He's there. I just don't really have a relationship with Him.
You don't?
No. I want to get there someday, but I want to really mean it.
All right, well, I think that's kind of harsh, you think? To say you don't have any kind of relationship?
Well, not really. Like, I know He's there, but...
You don't talk to him?
No, I don't. I feel like I wish I could just change like my mindset towards God like that, but I mean, I still have a lot of stuff to work on. It's just there's so much going on right now from being like in a rehab center that it's hard for me to like focus on God. I know that probably helped, but it's been such a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to like pick myself back up. Well, I got kicked out of school like 3 times for sending pictures while I was in 8th grade to a high schooler. And then the school I went to short after, I got asked to leave again. Then I got kicked out of my house for a couple months, then I came back, and me and my parents' relationship was never really the same. Like, I told them on a daily basis, like, I hate you, I hate your I hate this whole family, like, F you, pretty much. And I was like, I don't care about your rules. So we basically never talked to each other. Like, I hated them. I couldn't stand anything they said, pretty much. And they were so fed up with me, they wouldn't talk to me. And it was just like, it seemed like impossible that we would ever like be a normal family again.
Yeah. Do you want to be back? You know.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's gotten a lot better. Me and my parents get along really well now, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't live with them either.
No.
Well, at least not at the moment.
No, not right now,
That
but
helps.
I'm going to move back in the house in a little bit after I finish up rehab, and that'll be fun. But it's not exactly a rehab, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's where you go if you have family or behavior problems, but a lot of people are there for drugs.
Right. But it's not necessarily a rehab, or what people would think of as rehab.
Yeah, but it's very similar.
What's some of the best things that you've learned while you're there?
That being the victim or saying, oh, everything's not my fault, or saying, like, I don't have a problem isn't going to get you anywhere. Because I used to always be like, well, it's not my fault, this person did this to me, so it gives me an excuse to do whatever I want. Like, it really doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying crap doesn't happen to people, I know it does, but it's good to admit, like, when you do stuff. I know it sucks being a pastor's kid sometimes, but honestly, just being a complete a-hole to everybody isn't going to help you. It's just, you're letting them control you, and you think, like, that's stupid, I'm doing the exact opposite of what they said, but you're still letting them control your decisions. And that's, like, probably the last thing you want. No, I honestly wouldn't go back and change anything because it made me the person who I am today.
Sure.
But, I mean, were those decisions good? No, they really weren't.
Right.
And I understand, I feel like pastors' kids get a lot of the, abstinence is the way to go. But, I mean, I feel like it's easier to hear it from somebody like your own age.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to say no, like, I understand. It's really hard. First and Second Kings.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I think it's interesting to see how God chose these certain men and why he chose them. And even though they obviously made mistakes like David did and so did Saul,
Mm-hmm.
but God did forgive them. Yeah, I feel like the only thing that's been difficult for a lot of pastors' kids or just kids in general is that they feel like God has been forced upon them. Like
Right.
they don't have a choice whether they want that religion or not. And to be honest, I'm actually glad that I questioned it because if you don't question it, you just kind of accept it.
Right. And
Then you
just
obviously don't
a
really care
robot.
that much.
Yeah.
So do I regret like my wild child phase or whatever I want to call it? No, I don't regret questioning God because I know when I do have a relationship with him, it's going to be that much deeper.